I presented great, except
Oh no, did she freeze?
And then she
president
freezes.
of parent council, and then they're like, you don't have 20 minutes, you have 10 minutes now.
Oh.
So I don't know. Do you want to hear about it?
Love to hear about it.
Yeah,
So-
I'd like to hear.
I thought it was good. So I kind of presented the program because it got so shortened, and like even I know the video like tells a lot of it, and it's 2 minutes. I'm like, I'm not cutting that out, and so I cut out like what schools it was in. Like I cut out some of that stuff,
Mhm.
and
Sorry, Lisa,
So-
what was the event? What was it that
it was
you were?
parent council. I was presenting
Oh,
to
okay.
parent council to see if they'd bring in the umbrella project. I'd already talked to the principal there, but it was right before COVID hit. And then I had followed up with her, and she was like, there's too much going on. I'll like thinking that COVID would be over in a month. So anyway, then one of my patients came in, and they were on parent council at the school. So I was like telling them, and they were like, you should totally present this to us. I was like, great. So I did it.
Back door.
I thought it was good. And then the vice principal comes on right after and is like, well, so I was done. Like I wasn't allowed to talk anymore. And the vice principal was like, yeah, it looks good, but we can't put anything else on our teachers, and they just can't get any more stuff. And I wanted to be able to like rebut, and I didn't get a chance. And then after I spoke, they brought on someone else who's the PIC representative, and she came on and she spoke for 25 minutes about how she thinks we should bring in this speaker that basically was everything I just presented, not like less than that, who can give them a 45-minute recorded webinar for the parents for only $850, and they voted and they're doing it. I was crazy. I'm like, at the same time as they're talking, I'm emailing my patient being like, don't let them do it. We can do it for less and better. And we can do 2 for that price. And they're better, and it's longer, and it's live. And if I had had more time, I would have been able to say, and we do these things. And anyway,
That is so frustrating.
yeah, I was frustrated.
There's some politics in there, right?
They're
What's the
totally
peak
work- 'cause,
leader
like basically
or
she
pick-
just like talked about someone, I don't even know who it is, and then I got an email from parent council saying, for all parents, we've brought in this speaker. I'm like,
What's the pick leader? You said this person's role. What does that mean? The pick leader, you said?
Parent.
yeah, I don't know what it is. It's some
Oh.
association,
Oh,
Or
yeah.
it's like Parent Council Association.
right? Kate, do you know what it is?
Me?
It is a
Jen knows?
parent.
Someone knows. It's
conflict.
like
I think
some
it's something-
cross Ontario type thing.
Yeah, I think it's parent related, parent counselor or something.
It is for sure. I
And then
don't
there's like a
remember
rep from every parent, whatever.
the
They
acronym.
participate. And so there is where we need to present. We need to present there.
Mhm.
And then all the reps from all the schools can hear it. And then they'll just be like, oh, what a great buy.
I find I have similar struggles with my kids' school as well. Like they like what they know.
That's how it went.
And often they choose speakers who are local, and it checks a box. Doesn't necessarily do anything for the benefit of the students or the school as a whole, but they sort of, that person coming in checks the box. So the parents feel like they're doing something and the teachers feel good about it. Kind of have to try to break through that, I guess.
So, but
I'm
what it did
finding-
make me think was if they can charge that for a recorded session, then the Umbrella Project needs to do the same. The sessions that you've recorded, you don't need to do them live. You can do them recorded and sell them.
Yeah, meanwhile, we do ours live and then give the recorded
For 2
version.
minutes to decide they were doing it.
Mhm.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm finding, I don't know if anyone else
That's
is
fine.
finding this in their school boards, but like there's a lot of changeover in the administration in the schools that I talk to, which is a huge barrier. So there was a high school last I guess like in the new year I spoke to, they were like ready to sign the dotted line. Remember, Kate, in the spring, and then their budget had gone through or something. We missed it by like a couple days. So I was just talking to my contact there. She said even all the teachers at the school were under the impression they were starting this year, and they were disappointed that it hadn't happened. But they got 2 new vice principals in September who have since quit like a couple weeks ago, and now they have a new vice principal who's already in tears and wants to quit. And so like the administration is just, and it was the same at my local school. Like they had 7 principals over like 2 years. Like it just, there's no consistency. So no one can make a decision. Is anyone else hearing that or facing that?
Yeah, we just lost the vice principal. We didn't realize she was on leave, and then they sent out a message saying, as most of you know, she's been on leave, and as a result, we've had this person who's replaced her, and now that person is leaving, and this new person is coming in.
I think administrative turnover is one of the biggest challenges in schools to keep programs going. I knew somebody who was doing research on that, and that was like the number one thing, is that admin drives programming, and if they leave, programs fall apart, and then a new admin comes in and they have a new agenda, and then so they can't keep consistency. So
It's like politics.
yeah, exactly. So
Which is one of the reasons too why when people are setting up their core teams, like when we're onboarding new schools, we ask them to create like a champion team, and we try to ask for at least a couple people in a school that aren't an administrator. So like a social worker or a teacher that's really passionate about mental health, because at least if you can have broader than a principal or a VP, and at least if you've got a few other staff, then hopefully if there is turnover. So, but that's specifically why we asked that question and get them to do that.
on the PIC council thing, the PIC council has a representative parent from every school. So they meet as board wide, all the parent representatives from each school. So that was how the Umbrella Project came to be in like all the schools at the Catholic board, as I presented to in Waterloo, as I presented to the PIC council, and at least half of the parents there took it back to their schools to run it. And then it kind of snowballed from there. So they definitely are like a council with influence. And they do take speakers at their meetings. So if you can get in on a PIC council meeting, that's a really good way to reach a broad range of schools in an area for sure.
Is it PIC?
Mm-hmm. I think so. I was
Sorry, Jen, where would we find info on a PIC council meeting? Like, where do you find your local council or who to contact from that?
I've never directly looked for the PIC council. I've just been brought in. It's like the PIC council. I've never like a unicorn. I'm guessing you could probably Google it. Oh, I don't. Karen, do you know?
Yeah.
Maybe Google that for your school board.
Yeah.
And PIC stands for Parent Involvement Committee. By the way, I just Googled it.
Oh, yeah.
So if I just searched PIC Council School Board and it brought up like a bunch of different boards and it said like PIC committee. So like, I think that's all you need to do is pick and then what the actual school board is.
Yeah,
Karen,
so
your audio is not working. You're unmuted, but we can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Yola, yours is Ottawa Carleton District School Board PIC Council. It's as easy as that. I mean, and then there's like lots of information on the webpage, but. And then there's a contact us button.
Cool.
Cool is right. I've written it down as well.
All right. So sorry I was a couple minutes late here. I started the meeting and then I went to prop up my computer a little bit and I spilled this giant thing of water all over my computer. I'm really tired today. I'm having a day. So then, so I had to end the meeting, and then Will came in with the girl who's taking care of him. So then I had to change locations. I was like, oh, I just can't quite get it right today. So sorry about that, guys. No, Amy today is, did she have her baby?
Oh,
Yes.
she had her baby.
Violet Danielle is her name, I believe.
And she
Super
sent a
cute.
couple
What
pictures.
happened? What happened? You guys froze. What happened with Amy?
She had her baby.
Oh, and I can't remember what she was having. Did we know?
Girl.
When was she born?
On Friday, February 26th.
Oh,
So
was there an email I didn't get?
she just sent an email to me yesterday saying, hey, I won't be at the meeting, but here. So I'll forward the email, and she sent a couple pictures for me to pass along to everybody. So
I was gonna say, can you share your screen and show us?
I can, yeah. I can share my screen. Just a minute.
Does
Can I
anyone
share
here
my
follow
screen?
any sort of celebrity gossip while we're talking about babies?
No.
Oh.
Who had a baby?
Hilaria Baldwin. She had a baby in September, and then she just posted a picture of her with another baby. So everyone's wondering where the baby came from.
I don't know who that is. Kate.
Violet.
Oh, so cute.
Oh,
Oh.
And then one more for sleeping.
Oh. What a cutie. She's doing well, Catherine?
Yeah, she
Oh, yeah.
just said she was born on Friday, February 26th. Everyone's doing well. Apparently she shares a birthday with Dave, which
Oh yeah,
she does.
that's right.
And Amy's grandma, it's her birthday. So that was
Aw,
cool, but she said everyone's doing well. So
fun.
Jen, are you outside?
No, so we're doing a reno to our house. And so we moved out this week and I'm living at my mom's. Yola's laughing at me. So my mom has like a little hot tub room built off the side. It used to be the outside of the house, but now it's like,
Oh, nice.
but it was the only place I could tuck away. So
What are you getting renovated?
we're doing the main floor of our house. So like the kitchen mainly and office. And we're building like a little 3-season room off the deck, which is exciting. But yeah, we're here for a couple months. So I'm settling in. It's pretty disorganized right now. I feel like this week's a bit of a shit show, but that's okay. I know I'm in good company here with everybody who's been through all these moves and renos and clinic moves. And so
It'll all be worth it in the end.
yeah, for sure. All right, Catherine, do you want to get us started? I only have my little laptop, so I don't have the agenda open in front of me.
no problem. When I sent out the reminder email for this, I included a link to the ambassador dashboard. So over the last kind of couple months, a few of you have been like, hey, how do I access this? Where is that link? So I was able to find it and find that link, but I just wanted to make sure that if you had tried it, that it was working for you and that you were able to access stuff. Okay, I see some nods, so that's good.
I love the new dashboard. Am I allowed to jump in and say that? I find it a million times better than the first one or the first
like the
iteration of
educator
that.
one.
Yeah, like the first educator one was so convoluted in finding stuff that I had to download things and just make a Google document for myself of the stuff that I wanted to use frequently. I really like the new layout. So
Awesome.
thumbs up to whoever did that.
Yeah, that was Brett. He worked on that in the summer. The ambassador dashboard, where like there's resources for you guys with like slideshows and stuff, that's still the old version. Like that's not the new updated like design and look, but there's less information on there. So hopefully it's still easy enough to find. Yeah, so we wanted to, one of the main things we want to talk about is our Umbrella Project Awards, because those are coming up really, really soon. So Jen, do you want to talk about that a little bit, and then I can give a bit of a logistical update with what we're doing and stuff?
Sure. Yeah. So essentially, you guys, I'm sure, remember the awards from last year that we ran. So this year we're doing a bit of an upgraded, what's the word? expanded version of that. So we've changed a few things. We've changed the application process a bit. Last year we found it pretty tricky with essays because most people did not submit all the information in the essay that we asked them to. So it made it really hard to compare the people who applied. So this year we're doing it more in question format to really make sure that we're understanding the combination of like how the people are using their coping skills, really specific examples, and then what they're going to do with the prizes that they win. So that's exciting. And this year we also formed a selection committee, so it's not us making the decisions on that, which we thought was really important for the next version. So we have a extended number of people that we can give awards to this year, right? 7. How many did we give away last year? 7?
Last year we gave away
6.
6, 2 to the students, just 1 educator, and then 1.
Oh yeah.
We did 6, and this year we're doing 8. So we're doing 2 school communities, 2 educators, 2 grades 1 to 8 students, and 2 grades 9 to 12. And most of them, the dollar amount has gone up a little bit in terms of cash. So we've basically gone from last year we gave away $5,000 worth of cash. And this year we're giving away $20,000 worth of cash and prizing. So it's a big jump, which is really cool. And so the biggest change we made to our prizing is not just giving cash, but like, for instance, for the school community, if they are an umbrella project school, we are also giving them like the Parenting 101 course for every family in the school. And we're going to give them like their choice of either a parent or student workshop. A school community that doesn't do umbrella project, they're actually going to get the curriculum. And so also tying in some like wellness consults and stuff like that. So trying to make it a well-rounded experience and packages for people. So that's kind of the main changes that we've made with the prizing. So that's really exciting.
Yeah.
Yay, Kate.
So that will go live in April. We'll be able to share that and get hopefully a broader range of people applying for that and promoting that. So that's going to be great. Kate, Catherine, anything else you wanted to add about that?
Sorry, Kate?
Yola has her hand up.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
I just wanted to know if you guys wanted to, or if you were planning to, give us any kind of blurbs about how you want us to. And I love that you always give us kind of our ability to put our own spin on things. But if there's any kind of key points in terms of promoting something like that that you would want out there or passed on, is someone going to kind of give that little summary?
Yeah, last year there was like a 1-page summary that kind of like had the key points of like when it's open, who it's for, stuff like that.
Yes.
So we'll be providing that again. And there will be like, for instance, the graphics that we make, like there will be a whole folder that we'll give you guys the link to that will have some copy and some graphics and all the details. Because that will be going out to all of our schools as well. So like all the principals know what information they can share, and all of our review committee will have access to that as well. So that will, I'm hoping that like that last week of March, that we'll be able to give that to you so that then you'll be ready to go for April. So our window, it's open from April 1st to the 29th. So the whole month is when applications are going to be open. So we'll have that information to you guys. And the other cool update this year is we're actually going to be accepting applications in French as well.
Oh.
So if people want to apply in French, they can do that. So we're making our application form bilingual. So that's
Do you have the info in French too? Just curious.
the whole website is not in French at this point.
Yeah, no, it's just the information package about like where, when, why, who.
Oh, like that 1-page document.
Yeah.
I do not think
That
that
we-
we put that in front.
No, I mean, we haven't made that 1-page document yet. A lot of the information though, like basically anything that's going in our application, we're going to have translated. So putting that into, it would probably be very simple to do that as like an English and French, because we don't want to do our website in French. But doing that, I don't think would be actually maybe like a couple sentences extra, Jen, from what we're already getting translated.
Yeah, for sure. That just
So-
reminded me too, we should have the skill descriptions in French, which I think we do.
Yeah.
But that should be something else we translate. It's always hard, Yola, when we start to talk about whether we should do something in French. I feel like it just like, it goes on, and on. Like there's what you translate to French suddenly feels like a mammoth amount of things. So we have to like draw a line. So we thought this year we try to draw it in the application so that everything for somebody to apply would be available in French, but stop at the website. But I think we could definitely do that one page.
I think we have to really, just a short descriptor of,
Yeah, the skills, but also what you was talking about, the package, like the info that goes out, we can do that too. So
Yep.
Because the Franco-Ontarien week is coming up, which is kind of, and I think it's, I have it on my phone maybe, and I think it's just about when you're planning on releasing it. So that might be a nice way to tie it in, because French-speaking people in Ontario really care about that day. It is an important day to them.
okay, awesome. Perfect.
So I think that's it in terms of like the awards and what's going to be happening. Our website will be up, and truthfully, once the website's up and like the one pager and you guys get the link to all the resources, it should hopefully be a fairly like straightforward process, and just you can share it with like if you've got clients or local schools or however you want to do that. It's open to anyone. They don't have to be Umbrella Project schools. We're providing the umbrella skills and definitions right on the website so that they can like look and see what those are and reference them in their applications. The only other thing that we'll mention real quick is, as Jen said, we're building review committees. So we're really excited because they're all external outside of the Umbrella Project. Like retired principals or different organizations that are involved in mental health and things like that. And so if you do, we're still looking for another kind of 1 or 2 people. So if you know someone from a diversity or a mental health angle that might be interested, just reach out to me and I can provide you with some information. It's going to be about a 2-week period, the first 2 weeks of May, to review the applications just from one category. So we're building a committee for each category. So like schools, educators, grade 1 to 8, grade 9 to 12. So it should only be a couple hours of time and they'll be up on the website. So we're promoting everyone that's on those committees. So if you know someone from that angle, then let us know and I can get you the information that you can send. Yola?
Is it a paid position or it's volunteer?
It is a volunteer position.
Just checking.
Yes. We do not have money in the budget for that right now.
Yes, we've also come to notice that a lot of the bulk of people who work in mental health and or who are interested in this are like middle-aged women. So unfortunately, we're trying to diversify. We have a few men on the committees, but it's really challenging to find a good diverse committee. So we're working on that too. So if you know anyone who might help us with the diversity lens too, that would be
Isn't our age.
Hmm?
I
Yeah.
said this isn't our age.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Then I think, Jen, the only other thing that you wanted to mention was just the leadership conference and kind of what we're hoping to do with that, although our timeline is unknown at this point.
Yeah. So we're just in the fundraising stage of the leadership conference. So by the end of March, we'll have a good idea of what kind of fundraising we can do for that. But the goal is to run a leadership conference at the end of September. We were going to do it in the spring, but I think given the extension of COVID into God only knows how long, the spring's still a bit of a difficult time to coordinate schools and get everybody on track. So the conference will be a virtual conference that we'll be able to bring to as many classrooms as we can. So I really love the idea of being able to make sure that we don't select out students who already have leadership potential and put them in an environment where they get more of that, but really making sure that all students get a chance to feel more inspired about positive coping and how that helps them to become leaders of their own lives and beyond. So that's really exciting. We're fundraising to give the first 100 to 125 schools that sign up access to the Umbrella Project curriculum as well. So as part of being part of the conference, we're going to be able to give away the curriculum to schools that don't already have it that sign up. And I think we're aiming for 125 schools. So this will be a great way to get schools engaged, get visibility for the Umbrella Project, and also get them running the Umbrella Projects. I think in terms of a team effort to really get this out there and get schools in your area running it, this will be something you'll be able to take to your local schools or and offer them. It will be a 7-8 initiative, grade 7-8 initiative. High school is difficult in terms of scheduling, and grade 1 to 6 is pretty hard to target a one-day event across that span of ages and interests. So, and from all the mental health leads we've spoken to in the different boards, 7-8 seems to be a really going concern right now when it comes to mental health. I don't know if you guys are noticing that too, but I've got a grade 7 in my house, and I certainly see the wear of this time on their mental health. So, so that's where we're at. We'll know by the end of March approximately how our fundraising is looking, so we'll know what kind of speakers we can get. But we've got a really great list going of speakers to bring in and activities, and we're looking to partner with some of the bigger organizations in Ontario, like CMHA and School Mental Health Ontario, and have them run different activities through the day. So really looking at bringing together a good Ontario-wide conference. That, I think, is my little summary. Anything else I've missed?
No, I think that's good.
Yeah, so that's what's coming up for the fall for us. I think it's going to be exciting.
Yes. That is it. That's all I have on there. The only thing would be if you guys have any questions. And then one of the topics that we had that had kind of come up from some of the conversations that Kate and I have had with you guys is brainstorming ideas for pitching local schools. So obviously, in part because of Lisa sharing about parent council, we've had part of that conversation about the PIC committees and stuff like that. But aside from that, it's more questions from you guys or other things that might be good to discuss.
How else are you ladies initiating conversation? Just through like parents that you know? Are you guys like going in cold and just going straight to the principal? I'm just revisiting this again.
Answer that. So I have clients that are principals. I have parents at different schools, parents at different parent councils. So keep trying in those ways. I've gotten a couple new principals as patients recently, and I don't want to like push it on them the first time they come, and I don't want to take up their appointment time being like, and I have time with their brother. So both of them have emailed me a question or whatever later, and what I've done is I've incorporated it into my answer, where I've answered their question about their treatment, and then I've said, I also do this. Here's the link. I'd love to talk to you about it, not during an appointment at some point. So far, no, nothing. But I mean, I'm gonna keep, mentioning it if they're here, or like whatever. I'll just do little things. I will say what I didn't say that was a positive from my presentation is one of the people on the video meeting asked for my contact information in the chat, and I sent it to her, and she's a teacher at the high school, and she was like, can you send me information? I'm interested in it for the high school. So she wasn't the principal, but she was going to take it to the principal. So I don't know, maybe.
What about putting something up in your office or like on the front desk or something a bit more of an organic sort of soft sell
Yeah.
to get conversation going with parents, or
Like a display or something.
yeah, or even like a postcard. I used to have those sitting on
Yeah.
the desk at the office. Yola?
I have a question about the postcard. So I had the postcard up there for a while. And then eventually my clinic owner chucked it, even though I definitely told her about the umbrella project, because she thought like a client or a patient had brought it in and left it there, even though it also had my card stapled to it. Anyways, that's a different discussion. But we were talking way long time back before the pandemic about modulating or just tweaking that postcard a little bit to talk about like one-on-one consults with NDs. And I was wondering if that's something that's not difficult to do, if that could also be a way in, because it kind of spreads the word about someone's practice within the practice. But just like Lisa was saying, sometimes you need to have a personal in, right? So whether it's a parent whose kid did really well in talking to you about it, and maybe they want to bring it to the school, that could be a viable way to kind of approach it. There's a kid who had a concussion at a local high school, and they did really well in practice with me. And now that every single time a kid hits their head at the school, like they send them to me for an ND consult, and that's been like a really amazing practice builder of all things. I'm sorry for the kids that hit their heads and everything, but not all of them have concussions either. They just want to get them, checked out. So just a thought, a rambly thought.
Mm-hmm. I can't remember where we were at with that internally. Catherine, do you remember with that ND postcard?
I don't know that I've ever been part of a conversation about that. So I think it might have been before I started. So
I thought the postcard we had was specific to coming in and getting treated with the ND, but I thought that it was more one-on-one and not like a school program advertisement.
Oh, you're muted again, Yola. Sorry.
I think it says the school. I was looking at it because I looked at the links that Catherine sent. It's that kid with the umbrella that they're holding, and they're jumping in a puddle, and they have like an adorable scrunchy face. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do know, but I remember like giving feedback to the lines in it and stuff, and like I think it's somewhere like Brett did it and changed it. I don't know if it's like publishable, but
you know what? Remember we digitally sent it out.
I think I remember being digitally sent out.
Printed, or maybe
being revised
to printing. Maybe we just sent them digitally to print.
It goes digital.
I do
Would these still be applicable, Jen? These trifold brochures? Because I still have a bunch of these. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, I'll have to reread it. What's specific in there that would not be applicable anymore?
I thought the pricing was wrong on them.
Is there? Oh,
the back.
I think the pricing is in it. It's a one-time program fee of $1,000 per school. That's what it says on here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can't use this then.
Well, I mean,
I can just cross it out and say it's different pricing now.
Or you can or when people reach out, we can always just say that the pricing's been updated this year. Like, I don't think that's the end of the world to have.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a contact name in there, Danielle?
No, I think we were meant to put like our own business card or something with this, but there's no contact. There's like the website for the Umbrella Project, but it talks about the community parent nights, the education, the educator mental health fluency in education. It's like just a good intro.
Yeah, I think for the one number that's wrong there, like could either just
black Sharpie.
Update it. Yeah, exactly. Just right now we're at 1,500 per school. So you could just kind of like put a 5 in or just let people know the pricing has gone up a bit since.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And Yola, I saw your comment about if everything under partner sales and marketing is okay to send. I will have to look at that and review and see if everything's updated. And then I also made a note to like look for a postcard in Brett's like folder of design stuff and see what might be updated. So we'll look through that and see. I didn't even have the link to get to that dashboard until like 3 weeks ago when one of you emailed me and I was like, oh yeah, that exists. I have no idea. I don't know if I've ever logged in. So we'll look.
Yola asked a question in chat. Did you get that answered? I didn't hear the answer.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I
yeah,
just
okay.
was speaking to. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions that have come up? I missed the beginning of the call. Is everyone else doing okay? Keeping it together? Happy to have the kids back at school? Yep.
Very happy to have the kids back in school.
Yes. Me too. Yola, you look like you're in an office of sorts.
Yes, it's my clinic day, but I have to, it feels weird being here because Stefan got an Ottawa Public Health letter yesterday because one of his students has COVID, but in ways that I don't understand whatsoever. It specifically says that the kids and I can go to school. It says that you can go to your essential activities, and then specifically says, including school and work. But Stefan has to stay home. And then if anyone has symptoms, we're supposed to be tested, obviously. But the logic part of that doesn't make sense to me. But because Stefan's student was only in contact on his duty when he was outside and they were both masked and they were far away, I feel like the risk is low. So I came to work because I'm not supposed to not go to work and it's probably fine, but it still feels weird. Does that make sense? Also, does anyone else understand the logic of that?
Well, in our school board, Toronto Catholic, if anyone in our household is deemed like a close contact or whatever, we have to stay home, I think.
Yeah, when my daughter had a contact,
it's so strict.
When my daughter had one in her class, the entire class had to stay home for 21 days and wasn't allowed to go anywhere. It was one of those like, get someone to drop your groceries out, don't leave your house kind of thing. So I guess he's a medium contact. Like I don't really understand the tiers or the rules or anything. But I obviously care about transparency, so I also checked in with my clinic owners to let them know that public health said I could come to work, but this is the situation. But I feel a little bit like a leper, and I'm trying to keep my distance anyways, but I assure you everyone is also trying to keep their distance from me too. So I have all virtual this week, or we arranged to have all virtual, so it's not a big deal, but it's weird. And also, hopefully, I hope we don't have COVID, in case that wasn't obvious.
I was reading an article the other day in Peel Region. They send kids home who have any symptoms with a letter saying that they have to isolate in their bedrooms for 2 weeks with no, it's
Yeah,
terrible.
there's a huge, like I'm seeing it on Facebook too, a big backlash. Like one of my neighbors who's on the phone with CAS about that, being like, if ever someone kept their kid isolated from everyone for 2 weeks in their room, like it was and still is child abuse. And
and
to recommend that is totally
the threat of being charged or fined if they don't do it.
Yeah, so there's a lot of conflict around that. Is anyone here in the Peel Region School Board? No. Yeah.
It's
Crazy.
But it is strange that it's not consistent across Ontario. I guess each school board is making their own decision.
Yeah.
With regards to that. That's hard.
Mm-hmm.
I think part of the reason though for you, Yola, is like you're 2 steps removed.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it would have to be like Stefan would have to get sick first and then transmit it to you. So I don't think it's perfect, but I think they recognize they can't have everybody isolating anytime there's like a small risk. I don't know. It doesn't make sense, but I think they're trying not to have everybody stuck at home again.
I have a friend in Toronto, someone in her son's class tested positive. So not only did her son have to go home for 2 weeks, but his two siblings in the same school had to go home for 2 weeks, and the whole family has to isolate. And then they just found out that one of the kids in the other kid's class tested positive, and so now they have to isolate for even longer.
But
Well, when it was in my kids' class, where one of the kids had it, in my kindergartner's class, one of the students had it. All of us had to stay home for the entire period. So I just don't understand why it's different. I guess things are changing. I don't know if it's like there's close contact and then there's medium contact, because it just says that you're a high risk contact. This is what you have to do. This is what your family members have to do. But it's just weird. So I also appreciate that I'm allowed to go to work, or that the kids are allowed to go to school, but also thinking about it from a community spread. I guess the point is more so tracking it as opposed to jumping the gun and just everyone has to stay home all the time, which is good because I can't really work from home right now.
Mm.
And I think it's also a question of not stopping all cases, but just slowing the spread, right? On that note, has anyone treated anyone with COVID or who's tested positive for COVID in the past? Like any COVID related, like long COVID symptoms or anything?
Have you?
had patients that have had it, but nobody that I've like directly supported through it. Does that make sense? Like anybody I know, any of my patients have all recovered well.
Yeah.
I just
I definitely know
put it on
quite a few people who have had it now, but nobody that's had a long case.
Oh, that's good.